na kutaka majibu kutoka kwa serikali. Wakizungumza na wanahabari, wamelaani sheria 8 mpya walizotaja kuwa kandamizi na kinyume cha katiba, wakidai kuwa Rais William Ruto alitia saini wakati ambapo taifa lilikuwa linaomboleza kifo cha Raila Odinga, na kuitaja kama hatua inayoonyesha kurudi nyuma kwa demokrasia. Wamemtaka rais kuzungumza kuhusu wanaharakati waliotekwa nyara nchini Uganda. Aidha, wamepongeza hatua ya wananchi wa Tanzania kupigania haki zao na kuwasihi kuendelea bila hofu. Hebu tuwasikilize.
As dignity, a society that recognizes us as human beings. We live in a society where the dignity and where the sanctity of human life is taken for granted, which is why even at the burial itself, there is people who went to the burial and left the burial dead. Or they didn't live, but they died there. We have cheapened human life as a society. Even in the protest last year, young people were shot. When we went to the street this year to demand accountability for those who had been shot in June 2024, we ended up with more than 60 young people dead again. We must value human life. And so for those who are mourning, and for Kenyans in general, with Gen Zs in particular, the best way we honor Raila Odinga is to fight for for a better country, fight for implementation of the Constitution. We must struggle against these new laws that William Ruto recently signed into power. And this is both a historical responsibility, but also a generational responsibility, because as the philosopher Frantz Fanon reminds us, each generation has a responsibility and it must choose whether to fulfill it or betray it. To the youth of East Africa, because our struggle is not happening in isolation. The countries in East Africa are mirroring themselves in terms of the tactics they are using for repression. In Tanzania, we see right now the youth are on the streets. I think they will have to keep pushing, because nothing good ever comes without a struggle. Birthing a new society is not easy. Young people have always been at the forefront of struggles. We look at Kenya, for example. The struggle for independence was led by young people. In the 70s and 80s, progressive movements like DTM and Wakenya had young people in their ranks. The struggle for multipartyism had young people in its ranks. The struggle for a new constitution had young people in its ranks. And our struggle today is to have a complete liberation of this country. Because if our generation does not struggle, then we are going to endure these hardships for a whole lifetime. And so we have a generational responsibility. And this is not just to the youth of Kenya, but to the youth of East Africa, to the youth of Tanzania. You will have to struggle, and struggle might be a painful process. But the fruits of freedom are sweet. They might come at a cost. They might come with great pain, great sacrifice, but it is a worthy process to engage in. To the youth of Uganda, we have to struggle. We must back.